Okay, y'all, so this is my review on this movie I seen on TV. It's called Come to Me as a Woman. Y'all, y'all need to go watch this motherfucking movie. I've tried to tell you this movie was a good movie, okay? Let me tell you what the rundown was with this movie. So, it's about a couple who is having like marital issues, whatever the case may be, because the wife caught the husband cheating, okay, in the house. So they went to counseling or whatever, and he was like saying that he was going to quit and stop cheating or whatever the case may be. He has a sex addiction, okay? So she was like, well, I can't leave him because what if he, was an illness? So she looking at it like it's a mental illness or whatever. So she like, I can't leave him or whatever, but she really can't stand him right now because, you know, um, he got a sex addiction and stuff. So she ended up going to work or whatever the case may be. So she don't really fuck with nobody at her job or nothing like that. So she ended up linking up with this new girl who pops up on her job and stuff. So they end up getting real close and they end up chilling or whatever. So the new girl, the one who popped up at her job, her situation is that she was telling her like her husband be beating on her, her husband be paying attention to her, different things. So they kind of like trauma bonded in that way because, one of them, they both having issues in their marriage, right? One, the husband is cheating, the other one, the husband is abusive, right? So, as her and the girl start kicking it with each other and going out and stuff, the girl was like, talk about, yeah, we should like kill each other husbands and shit or whatever. She talk about they got like $1 million insurance policy. This is the one from the job that she met or whatever. She like, yeah, we should handle each other husbands for each other or whatever. But then she played it off like it was a joke. She was like, oh yeah, it's a jokey joke. I ain't mean that or whatever the case may be, trying to play it off, right? So something is off with this girl because, she ready to off her husband and shit for $1 million, right? So the girl ends up making back up with her husband, okay, the one who husband had an addiction problem. So the husband was really trying really hard to like make amends with his wife and make it up to her and everything like that. So the husband ends up doing that. They start having like a good time, bonding, spending time together, different things like that in a movie. While the other girl was at home arguing with her husband or whatever the case may be was going on. So come to find out, the girl was really just crazy. The one that was she called it her bestie. So like she did another crazy ass thing. Like while they was out on another outing or whatever, the girl she seen somebody that her husband was fucking with. So she was like, yeah, that's that bitch right there that he was fucking with or whatever. And she was like, oh, let me go handle it, girl. She beat the brakes off of this girl and then threw her whole head in the grill. Like, threw her whole face in the grill. And then she was like, oh my gosh. She was like, I'm so sorry. Did I go too far? I didn't mean to do that. I just got in the moment or whatever the case may be. So after that happened, the girl backed off of her. Like, she's really stopped, like, dealing with her like that until she called her over to her house one day. And her husband her husband was attacking her as the girl was coming inside of the girl house. Her husband was attacking her or whatever, and she ended up taking something and knocking it over top of the husband's head. And the husband had fell down, but before the husband fell down, she seen that the husband had a freaking butcher knife in his chest already. You feel me? So the girl had already stabbed her husband up before she called the girl over there. You feel me? So her knocking the guy over the head was just like a final blow, but he was already getting ready to die. So they all traumatized about that. They talking to the police about that. The girl man come over and, witnessed that or whatever. So this is the first time that the man, the husband, the cheating husband, the one that got the sex addiction, met the girl that he was dealing with from the workplace. Like the girl that he was finally talking about from the workplace or whatever. So come to find out, he meeting up with his homeboy at the end of that whole situation. And he like, yo, I fucked the girl at the job or whatever. So this girl befriended her after she was sleeping with her man, right? So he like, yeah, I fucked. He told his best friend, he was like, yeah, I fucked that girl at the job. He was like, it was something real familiar about her, but he just couldn't put his finger on it until he realized. He was like, yeah, it was during COVID. He slept with the girl a few times, blase, blase, like that. But he was like, he don't never tell the girls like their real name, his real name, or nothing like that. So what is the coincidence that this girl slept with her husband, right, and befriended her at her job? So after the whole situation with the husband, the murder with the husband and all that, or whatever the case may be, they end up ruling it as a domestic violence situation or whatever. And everybody went on, but their separate ways. But the girl, she blocked the girl from the job because she was like, it's too much dealing with this girl. Like, she didn't really want all that on her. Her and her husband was just like getting back together and making up and all this and that, right? So she was like, they was having a good time bonding, reconnecting their relationship and stuff. So the girl pressed up on him one day, like, oh yeah, why you I've been trying to call you, you ain't been answering the phone. She was like, yeah, I blocked you. Can you leave me alone? I don't want nothing to do with you no more. Blase, blase, right? She was just letting her know, like, she wished her the best or whatever, but she don't want nothing to do with her and stuff like that. So the girl was crazy. She was like, okay. Like, she was like, we best friends. We accomplice to a murder together. We was talking about we was going to kill each other husbands and all this shit. She was like, and I'm going to, redo the favor for you, whatever, right? So she like, stay the fuck away from me and my husband. Like, so now the girl was trying to like kill her husband because she felt like she was helping her and that she was accomplice with her. Like, this is all going on in this girl's mind. But at the end of the day, the other girl ain't had shit to do with that, right? So she been like following the husband around and all that. Um, she even came into the house. It was like getting ready to kill this husband. Like wanted to kill the husband because she just wanted to be best friends with the wife. But she ended up telling the wife that she ended up sleeping with the husband or whatever the case may be. The wife found out that she was pregnant, so she was in a happy place. Her and her husband was in a happy place. But yeah, it ended up coming out that she ended up sleeping with the husband and she was trying to kill the husband, okay? Just so her and the wife could be like best friends. Like she was like they sisters. So she just had like this real distorted, like, I don't know, something was wrong with this girl or whatever. Like she was real crazy. But come to find out, as they was doing more research on the girl or whatever to find out like what's her backstory, they finds out that the husband was never beating on her at all. Okay, that she really was giving him a hard time, but he stayed with her. Okay, because the mother came and popped up and wanted to know what the fuck happened. She was saying like her son will never hit on a woman and this and that and the third. And she don't know why her son had married that girl and this and that and the third, blah blah blah. But yeah, he was like, that girl killed my boy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she ended up being crazy, but come to find out, like, in the end, everything was all good. They end up saving the husband from getting killed or whatever, but and the girl ended up going to like a psychiatric ward. And the girl and her husband end up living happily ever after. But I feel like it's going to be a part two. Y'all go ahead and watch that movie and let me know what y'all think is on TV. All right.